Pregame.com.
Pregame.tv, college football season win totals. They're out in faraway places. They're out here locally.
Where's the ball? Where's the ball?
Drop the ball.
You're just asking me to remember everything.
He dropped the ball.
I'm supposed to bring the football, but we're going to talk about one specific team today. Cantor's got 30 of them up. They're taking big limits. Alabama Crimson Tide. Interesting. It's 11.5 in faraway places. The under is minus 230. Here in Vegas, they opened Alabama at Cantor 10.5. The over minus 160. Immediate money on the over went up to minus 185. And as we are going ahead and going to video here, it's getting hit some more on the over. Guys, Alabama going to win exactly 11 games. What do you think?
According to the odds makers, that's what you should expect. That, this is a team that is going to win 11 games. I mean, you got to pay heavy vig to go under 11.5. You got to pay heavy vig to go over 10.5.
Let me ask you, is it more likely, I'll stay with VR, is it more likely, now Alabama, I'll refresh the schedule for everybody, they basically have 8 cream puffs.
Again, this is the second time. This is the second year in a row. That's what's bothering me. That's why I'm mad right now.
They could lose.
4 road games, 7 home games.
They could lose at a Kentucky or something. Yeah, right, and the meteorite.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
There's 4 games on the schedule. They play a down Virginia Tech team.
Yeah, early on in the season, too.
All right, they're at A&M. They're going to be laying 6.
Yeah.
They're playing LSU. They're going to be laying 11. Yep. And I'm sure there'll probably be money on LSU. They finish, I believe, at Auburn. They're going to be laying 22.
Yeah.
So that's their 4 games. And you could really take the Auburn game. And I can argue we're not setting an over-under on a 12-game schedule. We're setting an over-under on a 3-game schedule.
That's exactly what it is.
And that's why I think the over.
No Georgia, no South Carolina, no Florida, nothing. This is the second year in a row. And we all know what a great recruiter Saban is. I mean, even his detractors in the SEC will admit he's a master recruiter. And someone I heard was joking, he doesn't recruit, he drafts. You know what I mean? Right. Everyone else has been recruiting, he's been drafting players. Yeah, so he plays a different game than anyone else. But it's as if he has that much influence in the SEC that he even picks his damn schedule and says, this is what I want. I don't want Florida this year. I don't want South Carolina. And I'm not playing the Bulldogs either. They gave me a run for my money last year.
Very smart with their schedule. I'm going to move over to Bryan because I think Saban's one smart cookie that he winds up getting A&M and just the SEC. How brilliant is this? Put the one losable game early. And just in case we stumble in College Station, we drop the
everyone will forget all about it.
On the table, Ohio State goes undefeated, fine.
Don't forget all about it.
Everyone else will stumble. I don't care if some garbage ACC team goes 12-0. Bama will jump them at the end when they win the SEC title game. So you could argue they even have a little margin for error here, right?
I don't know if he's able to set his own schedule. Let me just point that. I don't know how this works.
I have no idea, but if anybody could in the
how could it be playing A&M in week 2? That's just crazy.
I don't have anything to do with the schedules, but I do want to point out. Last week we talked about how you go the correct way about going about figuring out how many wins a team's going to have.
Right, they're going to win 0.97, 0.88.
I got him at 10.78, so I lean with the over also. But keep in mind, he's been there 6 years, and out of those 6 years, they've lost 2 games, 3 out of those 6 years.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, they win the national championship. They lost a game both those years.
Yeah.
So it's not a given that they're going to go undefeated.
I don't think so. I don't think they go undefeated.
Well, let me finish.
Yeah.
But when you take a look, they've got 7 home games, 1 neutral game against Virginia Tech, 4 road games. The 4 road games are probably the 4 easiest teams on the schedule, other than the Division II schools or whatever play, the Georgia States or whatever. But it's a perfect schedule for them. There is really no excuse for them not to go less than or more than 1 loss. Anything more than that is a disaster.
Yeah, I agree.
The schedule.
I know what you're saying the last 6 years, but I don't think that that's the proper analysis because when Saban took over, we're comparing apples to pineapples.
It was a different team. His first year he won 7-6.
Let's go the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, they go ahead and get the 11 wins, 3 of the 4. The 1 year they don't. They only go 9-3, but they had that crazy loss, 28-27 to Auburn, the year Cam Newton won it all with the team. And basically, it's not like they're winning all these close games, too. They're killing and destroying people. They had a fortunate win against LSU along the line and an unfortunate loss to A&M, which could have gone either way. But for the most part, none of these games are coin flips that they're going 3-0 in. I mean, it's like guaranteed win, guaranteed win, guaranteed win. And then they'll have 2 close games.
The thing that everyone's talking about Alabama is the trenches. You lose 3 offensive linemen, you lose 3 defensive linemen. the best recruits are coming in to pick up.
Get on the phone, talk to Wisconsin.
Exactly.
They got some big boys.
Exactly.
Give them a car,
exactly what's going to happen. I mean, as hard as it is to replace the center like they have to do, that's going to happen. It's kind of like we talked about last week with LSU, where everyone's talking about they lost half their defense. If you're the best player in the country, you want to play defense for LSU, or you want to play defense for Alabama, or you want to play defense for Florida. Right. So these kids that are coming in are the best you could get to play that position. So I'm not really sold on the fact that, they're going to have trouble because of losing 3 offensive linemen, 3 defensive linemen. I mean, I think that the most dangerous thing with Alabama this year, forget the defense, is that offense. Now, all of a sudden, you have a wide receiver, a running back, and a quarterback that have been together a little bit longer. And they could light up the scoreboard, or they could play Saban ball and pound it. I mean, they have so many options. I think that's going to be the biggest difficulty for their opponents. Forget scoring on them. I think that the problem is going to be keeping up with them on the scoreboard. I think if he lets this offense go, you're going to be in for a lot of high-scoring games, where usually with Bama, you expect low-scoring games because they're going to be the only team that does the scoring. Right? Exactly. But I think this team really is capable of putting up a lot of points with you got McCarron, Yeldon, and Cooper. Those 3 right there, just points. I think they're going to be so hard to stop.
I just want to know if McCarron is still dating that girl.
Can you blame him if he was?
Because if he is, I'm going to start watching more Alabama games.
I know Catherine Webb is no doubt. She's like thinking to herself, well, okay, now I'm the head dog here, and maybe it's time for me to move on.
Yeah.
Better things. Just like, what was the Florida State gal that Pepperidge Favre was hitting on?
Favre?
Brett Favre. Yeah. Jen Sturger. Yeah. I mean, she's got the hat and everything with her friends in Florida State. Recruitment went up 20% in Florida State in 1 week with those photos going around. So
I'm not sold on Bama running the table, man. That's all.
I'm not sold either. And the reason I picked this game, like Bryan was mentioning, the books don't want to push. They don't want to put this in 11 and refund all the money, even though they get to hold it. So they got cute here. They made it 11.5 and 10.5. But I really think you look at that, and it's like there's no way they're either going to win 10, 11, or 12 games. I think it's more likely they win 12 than that they win 10.
I agree.
But I think they have literally, if I can, it's like a 40, maybe there's as much as a 50% chance they win exactly 11.
I agree.
Even if it was 25 on each end, I got a 75% bet either way.
I agree.
11.5 over 10.5. Normally it's not worth that much, but here on an 11 it is.
I think it is.
Let me ask you this. A lot of, obviously when you're doing season win totals, you got to put your money up early in the season, let them hold it all year long. You basically, at the current line, you're basically putting up a double bet on this because they're holding basically a 2-1 favorite. Not a lot of people like to do that. Do you think that gives you a little bit more value eventually, or?
I'm just going to bet it, and then I bet it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for them to start 2-0, and then I'm going to sell it to VR because he's got so much money from all his baseball, and he'll go ahead and buy it off of me, and I'll make a nice little commission.
And if they do start 2-0, that means they beat Texas A&M, which is the 6-point favorite,
and
which
Virginia
is
Tech. So two of their 4 games. Probably. So the only way I lose is if LSU and Auburn wind up beating them, or a meteorite strikes one of these. I
think he put it best when he said it's you're over under 3 games is what you're really picking.
It really is a 3-game schedule. Let me go ahead and make it official. All right, official play, Alabama. Don't think of it as over 10.5 laying 200 on Alabama. Think of it as Alabama over 1.5 laying 200. They got 3 games. They play Virginia Tech. They play at College Station, Texas A&M, and they play hosting LSU. They're laying 6, they're laying 21, and they're laying 12. We only have to go 2 in one of those games. And hey, Kentucky, I know you got a great recruiting class. If somehow, by some miracle, you can beat my guys. All right, Tennessee backers, yes, you almost beat Alabama till that fat boy got in there, blocked the field goal, 14-12. But that was a miracle. That was when Saban was young and weak with this program. Now he is old and strong. He is the dragon. It is the what do they call it in The Hobbit? It's the desolation of Alabama, the desolation of smog. You don't win in there. You don't beat Alabama. They are a dynasty, and they're going to win 11 or 12. I don't care which. Either way, we catch.
Do they win the national championship?
Yes, 3-1 Alabama bonus pick. 3-1. You're stealing.
Wow.
You're going to take the favorite right now to win the national championship?
I'm not taking the favorite. I'm taking the dog. I'm getting 3-1.
They're the favorite to win the national championship.
They can go 11-1. They're supposed to win 11 games.
I laid money on Miami. I laid minus 150.
What are the odds they
the
make the championship if they go 11-1?
They lose one game during the regular season. You're only laying 2-1.
I understand, but if they go 11-1, I think they've got more than a 50-50 shot to get into the national title game. They
Especially
win the
if they
SEC
lose that
title
early game to Texas A&M.
Right, because good, nice. If some miracle team comes out of nowhere, like I said, and goes 12-0,
it doesn't matter.
Cream puff schedule. It's like,
it doesn't
you don't want
matter.
to watch you guys.
No.
You know? Yeah, you BYU.
It just says Boise. How that goes. How that works
you go
out
play
for you.
TCU someplace. Thank you very much. So absolutely, stay with us. Pregame.tv. We'll be back with even more stuff. Multiple sports. Breaking it down throughout the summer, pregame.tv.